Hey, what's going on? Glendon Cameron, founder of Hustlers Kung Fu, all about making that money without a job. Today, we're going to talk about making money during the Trump years, business advice, business tips, and a whole lot more. Now, let me get set up in here. This is a live stream. As you can see, I forgot to turn the sound down. I hate when I do that. Let's go ahead and get it set up because there's a lot of people who are kind of freaking out, right? I was talking to a guy at the bank about it. It was real funny because what he said, and I don't really think that's going to be really an issue. All right, so we've got that set up. Let it jump in. There's those of you out there who said, "Hey, go ahead and send an email 30 minutes before you did." I did that, and it made no difference. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, it's just email doesn't work the way that it used to. I'll still use it, but it's not as effective. Okay, for those of you who are here at the live stream, I'm going to put this in a few times, make sure I got it. This is the special. The only way you can get this special if you buy it during the stream. What it is, it's $1,000, right? 1,000 bucks. And you get 26 business building courses plus access to me for an hour and part of the new thing which is coming. So just grab that and then we would go. We got people who are saying, I love to get text notification. I've tried that several times to get people's phone number, and folks are like, I don't want to give you my phone number. Maybe in 2017, we'll try it again. Put that out there to see for folks who want to be, you know what? Let's do it. Before I do that, I need to do some research because people are getting crazy when they get texts they don't want. But we'll look into that. Now, what's going on? We've got Diana, somebody from Saudi Arabia. That's what it looks like. What's up, Ismail? What's up, Virtual Input? I'm not saying your name. I don't even know how to read that. But let's jump into it. Let's talk about what's going down during these next 4 years. Okay, let's get into a little history. All right. People are freaking out. So what we're going to do, we're going to go way back in time, right? And we're going to talk about Fred Trump. And matter of fact, let's get into some visual aids because see, this is where it really starts. Let's go here and let's jump into, hold on a second. Let me get all that together and let's jump into it. All right. Now, this is where the real money comes from. Now, even though Trump has more money, this is where it started. Typically, I'm going to read some to you in a minute because I should have put it on here, but this is where the stuff starts. And as you see, they got all kinds of people in the family, judges, all this other stuff. But he is what started this. Now, if you want your kids to be millionaires or billionaires, you need to make as much money now and put them in the proper environment at ASAP. That's the real thing. Because like I said, I'm gonna read something to you in a minute, and it's all gonna make sense for those of you who are freaking out about the Trump years. But Fred Trump, he's the one, and look, Fred Christ Trump. I just noticed that. I looked at this a few times. Real interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. So let's come out of here. Actually, let's just roll over here. And let's see. I'm going to read this to you guys. So just hold tight. Wait a minute. Okay, it doesn't want to. All right, I'll just leave it where it is. And we will get past that. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Where is it? Because I'll send this out. We're on the edge of a new era in technology. Tech is driving everything, and geopolitically, Some people are freaking the fuck out. The smart money is thinking on how to use all of these events to make money. The scared money is constricting and curling up to protect this underbelly. As much as technology has changed the world, people are mentally the same as they were in 1600, full of fear and uncertain of how they'll move forward in the world. You got two choices here: be the sheep or be the shepherd. Any illusion of more choices is something to make you feel good, not rooted in fact. Look at history for the last 2,000 years. The shepherd has always sheared the sheep, always. The reality is at birth, we only have two choices and no more. Whatever position you pick will impact you and your loved ones, perhaps forever. Families tend to stay in the same economic holding patterns or go down. Hello, hello, hello. It's hard to become unrich when you start off rich. Just saying. Families tend, so you want to be up high in case you go down and you're still rich. The businesses or jobs your parents hold also impact you. Each day you see a ton of hustler porn videos, ads, and posts. All make promises that can't be fulfilled. None of them are truly wealthy, nor have they studied wealth. The poor today make six figures in 6 months types never talk about the true source of long-term wealth. Parents, environments, natural resources. How you live, where you live, what school you attend, who your friends are, what your first jobs will be. How do you think all those kids who are ball boys or girls for professional teams got those jobs? Parents and friends of family. Exposed to major decision makers and extremely rich people for a life. A ball boy will meet the owner of the team before a season ticket holder. Think about it. Yes, these economic choices your parents made influences who you grow up with and what is on the table for further connections that can be the sources of millions of dollars for you. And let's see. I'm going to jump past that. Bill Gates' father was an attorney who founded a firm that still exists today. Sergey Brin, founder of Google, father was a Soviet mathematician who co-founded a company based on math. Mark Zuckerberg's parents were doctors. Larry Ellison was born to an unwed Jewish mother who urged her rich, well-to-do uncle and aunt and uncle to adopt him. Jeff Bezos' mother divorced his dad, who partied too much, and married an immigrant who taught himself English and worked as an engineer for Exxon. His grandfather was on the Atomic Energy Commission, who supervised the Los Alamos and Lawrence Livermore laboratories. All right. You see where I'm going here? Let's come out here. You see where I'm going with this? You know, I'll send this out, but the whole point is, and you know, just of all is, you know, if you weren't born rich or connected, doesn't mean you can't become a millionaire. It's just going to be much fucking harder for you. While you're working on your million, they'll be working on their billions. So it's real important, like if you got kids or you want to have kids, that you need to be developing this economic legacy because it matters. And let's see what we got in here. Oh, okay. Good afternoon, people. AKW Beats. Diana, what's up? Ismail, happy Tuesday. I am not going there. Oh, hell, we found the damn history lesson. History is very important. Very, very important. Let's see. Shout out to MailChimp. That's funny. Jermaine, I'm your #1 fan. Appreciate it. I don't believe all of that. I don't know what you're talking about. Gary Fee Family Liquor Store. Yes. Yes, you get it. Gary Vee's always talking about, oh, it was small. Bullshit. It has been statistically proven, studies have been done, the children of successful entrepreneurs have a huge leg up over everyone else. Fact. And they all like, dump, I got a small loan from my father. No, bullshit. Your father was the reason that you are who you are. Same for Gary Vee. Let's see. Wealth management. All right, going back to what I was saying, you're going to be the sheep or you're going to be the shepherd. That's just really. So All of this has to do with the Trump years. And I went back and gave you the history lesson because Trump is not going to change the rules or the playing field that allowed his father to get rich, that allowed him to get richer, and that will allow his children to stay rich and for his younger kids to get rich. That's not changing. Now, so everyone that's freaking out, unfreak out, calm down, and let's look at this objectively. Because the real way, the path to getting rich is not going to change, which is number one, not losing money, preservation of capital, which means if you can have a dollar and not lose that dollar due to taxation, fees, or whatever, you will slowly get rich. It's unavoidable. That's the quickest way to getting rich, is not to lose money and to, and then accelerate making money. All right. So what are your choices here? These are the Trump years. People are freaking out. Start a business. In the thumbnail, I have this guy who has a cart somewhere. If you cannot start your dream business now, and I'm gonna really just explain a lot of that. I did not start my quote dream business until many, many years later. I tried it 2-3 times. I had to take support businesses to get to a level of financial freedom and personal discipline to really do what I wanted to do. It's a journey. Martin, some family wealth lasts upwards to 800 years in some cases, but it usually withers away after a generation or two if there's no formal strategy laid out and implemented from my research. All right, let's go back here. Let's talk about this, because Martin, you're making some great points here. And let's go ahead and look at Fred Christ Trump. Okay, now let's look at all this stuff. He was an American real estate developer and philanthropist. Now, why is the fact that he was a real estate developer? If you know anything about building a building, you just can't go to a city and say, look, I want to put up a skyscraper, I want to put up a housing project. You just can't do that. You got to go to the city, you have to do an impact study, you have to tell them what it's going to do. Usually there might be some tax incentives, but it gets very political. It gets very political. So by being a developer, he got automatically was pushed into politics, whether he wanted to be in politics or not. And he did all kinds of things. He built stuff for Queens. He built barracks for the government. So he was firmly entrenched in wealth, politics, and law. These are three things that make people rich. And a lot of people just like, I'm going to go out here and hustle and make a lot of money. Now, going back to Martin's point, where it is talking about 800 years, when you grow up in a household, like how many musicians, their father and mother were musicians or loved music? You hear it all the time. Oh yeah, my dad used to listen. Your environment growing up impacts your later development because that's where you spend most of your time. So it gets funny. I'm tired of hearing about the spray tan Klan member. Well, it's just begun, because there will be a lot of fuckery coming these 4 years. One of the reasons I'm doing this presentation is, while everyone is freaking out, if you start planning, you can come out a millionaire in these 4 years, because this is what I see. There was this thing where some people, I forget where they were marching for $15 an hour to be fast food workers. There was some other stuff that was going on. And while they're doing all of that, you need to be building your first service business. Because the first half is, if you don't know what you want to do, how you want to do it, find a service business to get your money up. And have your, be looking out for other things that you can do later on. Queen of Spain ruled the world for 800 years. Let's see, this is one of the things about gaining wealth. When you get to a certain level of wealth, it's very hard to become unwealthy, because it's not the money, it's the position. Okay, like many of our so-called representatives, They go to Congress, right? And they come out wealthy. Why does that happen? Are they scamming people or on the toll? You are rubbing neck, elbows, going back to Fred Christ Trump. You get exposed to deals. You get to see paperwork for companies. You so much stuff comes across your desk that will not come to you in the normal walk of life, that if you take that information and associate with the right people, very easy to become rich. Sarah Palin, Nayland Palin, look it up, was worth $60-some thousand when she hooked up with McCain. And once she realized how the game was played, she's worth like 15 million now. What are we talking about? 8 years. So from regular money to 15 million in 8 years. Does she own a company? Probably, but she's just a talking head. She's made millions of dollars by being a talking head, by like rah, 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 because she learned the game. Virtual input. USA is a corporation. Donald Trump is a businessman. With the right mindset, these next to 4 to 8 years will be very beneficial financially. My goal is to 5 times, to increase my net worth 5 times. That's my goal, because part of the thing is, since so many people are going to be freaking out, they are not going to be competing. They're not going to be in the marketplace. They're not going to be doing shit. They're just going to be like, oh, woe is me. And I'm just sitting there like, you do that. I always miss the start of the stream because I'm watching early videos. That is hilarious, Jacob. History is very important. Zaza Jury agreed. It is. This hasn't happened before. All right. The most racist president we had was Hoover, I believe. Was Hoover? I forget, because most of them were racist. He ain't the first one. Most were racist. And this one went through the government, and black folks who had certain type of jobs got fired and pushed out. It has been much worse than it is now. Much, much worse. So that's why I'm sitting there like, if you don't study history and know what went down and how it went down, you can easily be misled. I was listening to someone that was saying some stuff that I knew because I studied it. It was historically inaccurate, and this person was purposely putting out misinformation to push their agenda. I knew this because I studied the numbers, and it was just like, wow. But so many people don't study history. That's why, you know, and let's just go back a little bit more. I've said this on this channel before, and I'll say it again. I don't care who's in office. I'm getting my money. It doesn't really matter. It's immaterial to me. I don't care if Hillary won. I just think Hillary would have been the lesser of two evils. No, I said evil. Both of them are evil. There's no doubt about it. Both of them are fucked up people. No doubt about it. But as an American, I feel that if you don't vote, don't bitch. You didn't really try to change anything. That's just my input, and we're not going to get very political with that. But from a business person standpoint, doesn't matter who's in office. You will make your money. If you focus on, I have to have something to sell, I need to find an audience that will buy it, and I have to have a mechanism here that hooks everything up. The 3 cores of business. You focus on that, I don't care. I'm gonna give you a story. This guy's named Kurt. I haven't seen him in a while. We were in the group on Facebook, and he was just Obama, 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 like just a dog, like just going crazy, right? And I was like, Kurt, dude, why don't you fucking focus on your business and leave all this political rah-rah shit alone, right? And he said, no, that's a good point. So he stopped. He said it was hard. You know, he had people holding him accountable. After he left all of that stuff with Obama in office, he had his best year ever in business because he focused on his business. Doesn't matter who's in office. So focus on business, focus on getting your paper, focus on building your family legacy, because it does not matter. And I'm going to say something that a lot of people don't want to hear and going to be real pissed. Police fuck with all poor people. In every society, this ain't America, just America. People go out and read international newspapers and blogs and see what's happening around the world right now. All poor people are being fucked over around the world. This ain't nothing new, sheep or shepherd. So with that, you got to reorientate your mind on the things that you need to do in terms of building your business. What's one major tip? Start a service business. Most of you, based upon the research that I have and talking to people, don't have a business, have no idea what you want to do. Pick a lawn service, pick a car wash, a delivery service, something that you could do that can, immediately start putting money in your pockets. And go to my video, the 5 checking accounts you need, the 5 financial rules for self-employed. It's on the channel, and watch those videos and start doing those things. That's the major tip. Also, for those of you who are here, I have this deal. It is $1,000. See, I'm not going to like, oh, well, I don't tell them how much it is. They click, they'll be like, oh, well, since he didn't tell me, they're going to buy it. No, it's a G. But you get 26 business courses, and you get an hour of my time, plus there's something new coming. And you also get Uncivilized Profits, which is currently $500. That's included in that 26 course deal, just saying. And that goes away when this stream is over. All right, so you got to really forget all of the stuff, because recently, I'm not on Facebook. I'll start getting back on today, but I take Facebook timeouts because Facebook will have you feeling that the world is gone mad and there's nothing you can do, and all these things are happening that are really not happening. They're really not happening. It's just not. So you got to take time out for Facebook and focus your time on your business. Focus your time on things that you need to do. Focus your time on research. Like, there's no crime in not knowing what you want to do with yourself when you want to grow up. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's plenty wrong with when you have all of these resources and you're not using them. There's a ton of resources out here that can help you. There's a lot of stuff that you can listen to and make money. I'll give you one. Go to Pat Flynn's, Lewis Howes and Pat Flynn, and they got a whole template in a podcast that teaches you how to make money without having a product. Go listen to it. Mother's mustache. I quit Facebook. I don't have time to listen to others' problems. Yeah, I don't bitch on Facebook. I don't really put out a lot of personal information on Facebook. Alan Harvey, I was a landlord for a while, but I hated it. Why did you hate it, Alan Harvey? Businesses can, to be in business can be for bitch at sometimes, because I'm getting back into real estate, but I want to get in a level where I'm not managing anything, actually have the enough resources to hire a full-time property management company where I'm not dealing with anything. I mean, this whole thing got started in the middle of recession. People were freaking out. I mean, actually, honestly, a lot of people lost jobs. Many of those people still have not reclaimed those jobs. It was rough. Oh, I had Section 8 tenants. For some people, I got a friend. Let me tell you what he did. During this recession, and he did it strictly from cash flow. He did not make any loans. What he would do, he was a carpenter, painter type dude. He would scan the foreclosures, whatever. And whenever he got 25, 30 grand, he would go out and buy a property, fix it up, do whatever he needed to do. He had already, and then his whole business model was based on Section 8. He was buying 2 to 3 properties a year, cash, rehabbing them, working his ass off. And last time I talked to him, he had 15 of these Section 8 properties, bringing in damn near 20 G's a month, and he still works. So trailer park. Oh, you went deep with it, didn't you? Okay. A lot of people ask me about certain investment things. I think the best investment is an active business. I'll do it again. I'm just gonna do it again. Hold on a second. Let's just do it one more time. Let's do it one more again. That right there. That right there. This business of development started a long time ago, and it's never stopped. It has never stopped. That's where the money is, an active business. So, that's just, I don't know how many ways to state that. I just don't. Last name Harvey. Wallacoola County, Florida has one of the longest standing sheriff's elections in the county. Sheriff Harvey. That's funny. No, I am a media company. I'm not messing with real estate in that regard. It'll be part of a SEP. That sounds like an RET, a RIT. That's interesting. My thing's about ownership, and a lot of people don't like ownership. So that's a whole different plan. I'll probably talk about later when I actually start doing it. Private placement, not RIT. My thing, and this is just me. I would say, let's see, there we go. Pull that out. This is just me. For this whole thing, in terms of starting something, like, okay, what you were talking about with the private placement and some other stuff, typically you don't really control that. And when you control something, even like, give you a good example, let's take Amazon. I think Amazon is a brilliant, innovative business model. I think if you are part of Amazon, you are a sitting duck. But Amazon itself, Bezos, he owns 56% of that company, so you can't get rid of him. If he wants to do X, Y, and Z, the board of directors cannot control him because he has ownership, equity, and position, right? So part of this is power and control for me. So with that, I don't really look at that. And also coming back to, starting companies is really, really hard, right? And the reward is so nice if you pull it off, because the things that you can do. So I'll look at that, but right now I'm kind of looking at something else that needs to be funded by something else. But for, getting back to the business advice, tips and tricks for the Trump years, you have to go out and get started. You can become a principal investor, raise capital, and pay manager demand. I'm not, or I guess I wasn't clear. I'm not going to have investors. It's just going to be my thing. There will be no investors. It's a family thing. There won't be any investors, so it will be like the Cartwrights, Big Valley, Bonanza, whatever. Be like the Cartwrights, own all that shit. And there's a reason for that, because one of the things with a lot of the financial advice today is get in, make a lot of money, liquidate, and exit. Okay, so let's kind of go back to, let's see. Let's go back to this. Go back to screen share. And let's present to everybody. Okay. Now with this dude started everything. And Donald maintained. I give props where props are due. He maintained. When you start something and maintain it, the inevitable conclusion is to get wealthier. As long as you're part of someone else's party, it's very hard to get wealthy unless you're like one of the first investors of Facebook or one of the first investors of Google or something, and you know, you're employee number 12 and you get all these crazy stock options. Okay, but how often is that? How often does that happen? You got many people who have joined startups and the startup went boom and they've lost, you know, time in the job market. They lost time building up benefits. So, you know, that's just me. I mean, seriously, the Cartwrights, there's a lot of stuff that's going on, but you got to go ahead and really think about starting your business. And to help you, because that special is only available during the stream, and after that, it kind of gets ridiculous. But you gotta get started. And some other tips. Let's get into tips and advice. One, stop hanging around broke people. When you hang around broke people, due to the fact that everything that they do is steeped in lack. I can't do this because I don't have money. I can't do this. I mean, you got to talk to yourself so differently. Like Alvin, it's like, you know, you should be like, I don't have the money now, but I'm gonna figure a way out how to get the money. You have to talk to yourself like that, because so many people will talk your ideal down, will say it's not going to work, don't do it. I had not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but 12 people tell me doing this YouTube shit was fucked up, that I was making a mistake. I should have went home and took care of my mom, blah, 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 blah. And then some of those folks are like, man, I was with you from day one, man. I knew you could do it. And I'm like, motherfucker, I remember that conversation. I remember that conversation. And this is another thing why, with the Trump years, you could be a motherfucker, everybody can hate you, but you start winning. Like, here's the reality. I don't think it's going to happen, but if Trump starts winning big, he's going to get 8 years. If he starts winning big, because everybody loves a winner. Everybody loves a winner. I don't care what, you know, if you came in muddy and jacked up, but you go in that back bedroom and come out, you know, classy and, you know, suited, booted, and real fresh. You know, that, I mean, it's serious. I've seen this too many times. So that's the greatness of America. You can be fucked up today and you can be an amazing tomorrow. So many stories like that. Courtney Thompson, thanks for the level-headed perspective. Gee, as a Canadian, I can stand down from the Trump alert. Yeah, I mean, seriously, there's a lot of stuff, because they're already fighting. They're already fighting with his own people, already fighting over picking Romney and someone else. They're already fighting. They're already going at it. This is just the beginning. Build your business during the day, and when you watch the news, grab some popcorn and just eat it and watch it, because you're going to see a lot of fuckery the next 4 years. A lot. History. I have studied these people. Like, let's go back here, because this is real. And what I want you guys to do is to go ahead and research it. Research it for yourself, because you hear this stuff like Bill Gates came from nothing. Bill Gates was going to a private school where they taught him transcendental meditation. Father was a Soviet mathematician. Now, this is one of the things about Russia. If your ass is in one of the best universities and you're doing math, your ass got tested. And it's like, oh, you have an aptitude for math. This is what the fuck you're going to do. So his father was brilliant. He grew up with a brilliant father, and then he came up with a brilliant idea. Zuckerberg, doctor, his father was a dentist, his mother was a psychiatrist, and he's Jewish. Ellison, Jewish. Jeff Bezos, father, you know, his stepfather was a Cuban immigrant. Immigrants have the DNA for success, because they're leaving such bad circumstances that it just looks like fucking cake over here. It's like, wait a minute, you mean I gotta work 12 hours a day and only gonna make $7 an hour, but that will afford me my own place with running water? Where do I sign up? And let me call back home and get my mom and dad over here. Where you got folks over here like, shit, I'm on public housing, they won't let me have cable, or I'm getting benefits and they want me to do a fucking drug test. I mean, you got people over here who just take for granted all of the opportunity, all of the amazing things. Yeah, we got problems. Yeah, things are fucked up, racism. There's a lot of shit, but the positives are like this. You can't even see the positives. That's just me. That's how I look at it. I remember that. I do. I mean, people crack me up. I mean, I've only been doing this 8 years. This is my 8th year. And I'm like, you weren't saying that shit in 2009. You told me I was crazy. Martin, I quit my last job because the guy I worked with had an attitude that was congruent with lifetime poverty. Oh, I love that statement. There are many people who have this poverty mindset of spirit, and what they will do is try to infect your ass with it because, like, all right, I know someone who just got a really, really good job, right? Like fucking $40,000 a year raise. And went in and we're just talking about other people, and it's go-getter, really smart, probably going to be leading the department and shit. And I'm just like, get ready to be hated. Just get ready, because you're going to shine, and you're going to shine all of that light in all those dark crevices of mediocrity. And it's just wild. So you got to stay away from the poverty mindset people. You got to stay away from the, people who use broke language. The rich are corrupt. Okay, that's broke language. Are there some corrupt rich people? Yeah, there's some corrupt poor people, but nobody's talking about that. So you got to stay away from broke language. The other day I put up this video talking about, why I'm not buying the MacBook Pro because it doesn't work. And it was a business lesson, and the whole conversation skewed toward PC gaming computers, and completely forgot, they want to, fuck the business lesson. I want to talk about some gaming shit. I want to talk about building a PC. And I was like, that's one person I haven't checked. I don't know if they've answered. It's like, are you making money with your computer? All this shit makes money. This is the reason I have it, because it makes money. It serves a purpose, not to play games. And gaming is huge. Gaming makes a lot of money. If you're a developer, if you create it, there's only so many slots for folks to get $1 million contracts. As a gamer, they do it, but that shit's limited. I mean, there are more doctors than there are gamers making money. Doctors, which is, it's hard to get into. Well, let's see. Mother's mustache, true ungrateful asses. AKW beats. It's so funny because they used to sound that way. What way exactly? Just go ahead and throw that up there in the comments. But yeah, stay away from the broke people and learn how to discipline yourself. If you don't have discipline, take dance classes, take piano. Yeah, I don't care how old you are. Take a piano class, and an hour a day, devote yourself to some, and your goal is to become really good at it, whether you like it or not. Start doing shit like that, because what's going to happen is technology is going to continue to eat the world. We as Americans have moved to a service-based economy, which means if you're on that cog in that service-based economy and you don't own the company, your income's limited as fuck. It's just reality. Less than pi. Welcome to the fam. Started watching recently, watched at least 30 hours worth of your videos in the past week. Motivated now more than ever to hit the grindstone. Hey, congratulations. Let me throw this in here since you just showed up. I got a special going on. It only goes on during the stream. 26 business courses and an hour of my time. And you get to be part of the new thing, which is going to be phenomenal. You can only get it during the stream. Mother's mustache. Overheard a conversation the other day. These people always talking about hustling, sitting on their mama's couch. I just kept on walking. I need like a dead cat sign to put up there. That's the problem. They talk about it and they're not hustling. They're not really hustling. See, this is part of hustler porn. to read all, there's this guy, his name is Larry, and he reads all these books and he's on all these blogs. And I would be surprised if in the last 6 months that he has devoted a good 40 hours to his business, because he's all over the place with this stuff. And, you know, people are like, hey, what's the best book to read? I continue to read the same books over and over again, because here's the secret. A lot of success is boring. Well, I should say a lot of the elements to success are boring, not particularly awe-inspiring. Take discipline and consistency. If you can manage that, you're gonna make money. You know, working when you don't want to work. Like yesterday, because I'm starting to get back into my old program. I did 2 workouts, I did 3 live streams, I had 6 phone conversations, and I wrote 3,000 words. Did I want to do all that shit? No, but it moves the needle, and it moves it faster than me just like, well, I'm going to work in my comfort zone. Another tip, fuck your comfort zone. Your comfort zone will keep you broke. Your comfort zone will keep you in places you claim that you don't want to be, because you're comfortable. You stay there for years and years and years. So that's some other stuff that you have to do. You really, really have to become very uncomfortable. Comfort is the death of success. The more comfortable you are, the less likely you will grow, the less likely you will grow, the less likely you will make big money. So it gets to be very, very important on what you're going to do. Let me see, where are we with this? Cool, we are rolling along, because after I get off the stream, I got a lot of administrative stuff to do. So I will not be here much longer. Just throwing this up here because, you know, people are freaking out. I'll be talking about this some more because people will continue to freak out. And I'm just sitting there like, this is a golden opportunity for the people who are prepared to put in the work, put in the effort, because the tax laws are not going to change anytime soon. The matter of fact, some taxes, probably in the state tax, may be eliminated or drastically reduced. That just means that you got to organize your stuff in a certain way. Serious. So for those of you who may have missed the special, which after the stream goes away, I will be having Uncivilized Profits, which is 66% off. Be sure to grab that, because that's marketing and talking about this stuff that we're talking about in a very deep and edgy manner. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. All right. So we'll catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. There will not be a stream tonight. We will pick that up tomorrow because I got appointments. So you folks have a great day.